Welcome to the Fab Female Nutrition Podcast, episode number 164. Hey there, I'm your host Wendy Hill, and I'm a nutritional therapist and expert in female hormone health. I specialise in helping women gain confidence and understanding their bodies, allowing them to shine. This podcast allows me to share the knowledge I've built up, along with bringing you guest experts to support you in your journey. So, Fleur, welcome to the podcast. I'm really excited to talk to you today. I think we're going to have so much to talk about.
I think we will too, Wendy. Look, thank you so much for having me on the show today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. So I just want to talk a little bit about kind of your family history. You've got quite a kind of interesting family history. So how has kind of that impacted your kind of journey with your supplements at the moment?
Thanks, Wendy. So as you can probably hear from my New Zealand vowels, I come from the Antipodes, from New Zealand, and my father, Mike Cushman, was a pharmacist and formulator in New Zealand, and he was a real visionary and pioneer of the natural healthcare movement in New Zealand. So the Cushman name is kind of synonymous with healthcare and vitamins and supplements and compounding in New Zealand because of my father. And he was very much an evidence-based practitioner. He was really ahead of his time in terms of harnessing natural plant compounds, vitamins and minerals to change health status and to change your quality of life. And he alerted me to the early potential of New Zealand blackcurrants. And when I started on this path just over a decade ago, there wasn't an awful lot of research out on blackcurrants. We had a reasonable understanding of blueberries, and there's been a lot of research come out of America on blueberries. There's a lot of funding for that fruit over there, but it's just not the same case with New Zealand blackcurrants, or particularly New Zealand blackcurrants. But he saw some really interesting early government-funded research coming out in which they had discovered that the unique environmental factors of New Zealand were producing a very, very nutrient-rich blackcurrant, which had, very high concentrations of polyphenol compounds called anthocyanins, and that was really uniquely down to the ultraviolet sunlight, which in New Zealand is much stronger than in Europe, and that was stimulating the berry fruit to produce these high levels of compounds. And New Zealand is actually a brilliant nursery for this fruit. They need really cold winters. They love snow on their feet in winter. And then we have really long, hot summer days, lots of sunshine hours, and, beautiful soil, pristine growing conditions. So as a result, we have this phenomenal berry fruit that really is a world beater when compared to its nutrient density, in the fruit and particularly compared to blackcurrants grown elsewhere.
That's so interesting because I hadn't really thought about it until you said, but you're right that we all know about blueberries, don't we? We kind of all get it's kind of the modern health food almost is get your daily portion of blueberries, and blackcurrants just don't feature the same. They don't seem as sexy somehow, do they? And then that's, we need to kind of get a marketing agency for blackcurrants, don't we? Because blueberries have had it. And they have similar properties, don't they? Because purple is a colour that I talk about eating the rainbow all the time, and purple is a colour that we have more difficulty in getting. There's a smaller range of foods available, isn't there?
Yes, no, that's right. And you're right in what you say. It's the dark purple berry fruits that, contain, so many nutritional properties. And I think, it's worth remembering that it's these purple foods that are amongst the best sources of these really good polyphenols. And, there are differences between blueberries and blackcurrants. If you compare the two, actually blackcurrants are much darker in their quality, which denotes a high level of anthocyanins and polyphenols. So actually they have more antioxidants and greater concentrations. And there are some crossovers actually in the individual anthocyanins in the two fruit. But the one specific to blackcurrant, red and blue anthocyanins that are particularly good for blood flow and as antioxidants. But the anthocyanins, as part of the polyphenol family, really do take high rank in the food chain, and they're protective compounds, and their role is to shield plants from everything that the natural environment can throw at them, like pests, extremes of temperature, altitude, ultraviolet sunlight, and that the greater stimulus that they get from their environment means the higher density that they have of anthocyanins in the fruit. And the deeper and darker the colour, the higher the concentrations.
I talk about that all the time, so I'm so glad you said that, because I sometimes feel like I'm the only one saying that. It's like, they don't produce these wonderful anthocyanins for us. They produce it to survive, for their survival. So just to explain to the listeners, there was a few terms there that they might not understand. So can we just kind of drill down a little bit, kind of why should we be bothered about antioxidants, and why should we be bothered about anthocyanins? Let's just take those two in isolation.
Yeah, sure thing. So antioxidants help to neutralize oxidative stress in the body, and it's a natural process that happens as part of aging. It happens when we exercise, and basically it's an imbalance between what they call free radicals and antioxidants, and that process is actually very damaging to healthy cells in the body in a really simplified way. And oxidative stress is really implicated in the aging process and all major diseases. So it's really important that we have a really good antioxidant intake through, our fresh fruit and vegetables, and good antioxidant sources in our diet. Like they should form, one of the real cornerstones, particularly as we age. So it's, they help to balance the body, and unfortunately oxidative stress is just a natural consequence of living, breathing, taking on lots of oxygen. It's just, it's a normal process that occurs in the body, but we need to try and protect ourselves with, through our diets.
Perfect. And anthocyanins, just to give a quick explanation to the listeners, what are specifically why are we talking about anthocyanins? What's so great about them?
Yeah, perfect. So anthocyanins are amongst the most important phenolics found in foods. So they're natural plant phytochemicals. They are basically pigments that are responsible for the bright colours in fruits, and especially berries. And they belong to they're a class of compounds that belong under the phenolic umbrella, along with flavonoids. And the polyphenols are defined as body response modifiers. So they help balance the body through their really complex range of actions. And actually, there are over 800 known anthocyanins in nature. And they all have slightly different functions. So that's why, as you say, Wendy, just to hark back to your eating the rainbow, it is so important to have a really diverse intake of different fruits and vegetables of all different colours. But the purple compounds are super important because they have, such sophisticated effects. They have complex modes of actions, and they're really important for balancing the body, general longevity, and aging well.
I'm going to do my quick fire rounds with you now, if that's all right, Fleur. So, are you a jeans or a dresses kind of girl?
Ooh, a jeans kind of girl.
Oh, bless you. And sushi or pizza?
Oh, I'd love to say sushi, but I hate slimy fish, so it's pizza.
That's exactly how I feel about it. I really want to be a sushi girl, but I'm not. It's pizza all the way. Beers or cocktails?
Cocktails, girl.
What's your favourite?
I have to say I'm super partial to anything with gin in it. I love my gins.
Oh, good. Yeah. And you're in, gin. The Brits do gin quite well as well, don't we? So you're in the right place.
It's been a great journey with the growth of the boutique gin industry here.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed trying new ones.
Brilliant. And I don't know what you're going to answer to this, because coming from where you do in New Zealand, I visited New Zealand once. We weren't there very long. I need to be there longer, definitely. And it's a beautiful beautiful country, and you seem to have everything. I have to say, me and my husband both fell in love with it, really did. So my final question to you is: beach or ski?
Beach. Beach all day long. Yep. I love enjoying the sun on my skin. Yeah, I love it. And I'm terrified of heights, so I'm hopeless up a mountain.
That's brilliant. Oh, that's a good reason to stay on the beach. Definitely. And my final question for you, Fleur, is what have you got for tea tonight? Do you know?
We have stuffed mushrooms with lentils and peppers and lots of salad with it.
That sounds delicious. Very nice. I don't know what I'm going to have for mine, but you've inspired me. I think I might do some kind of lentil-y dish. Not mushrooms, unfortunately. My husband doesn't eat those, but I think I can rock up some lentils tonight. Fleur, it's been lovely. Thank you so much for chatting to me. And I look forward to seeing everything that happens with Currans in the future.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for watching this excerpt of this week's Fab Female Nutrition podcast. If you'd like to listen to the full episode, then the link is in the notes below.